Syracuse wins the tip. Ron Groover, Tommy Morrissey, Jerry Heater are our officials. And we are underway in the Dome. The second meeting between the Orange and the Tar Heels this season. The Syracuse team, which won 2 home games last week, got blown out by Duke on Monday at Cameron. The first shot missed from J.J. Starling and rebounded by William Kyle. Nate Kings. Starting 5 for Syracuse. Nate George runs the show with Starling, Kings, Freeman, and Kyle. That's a tough shot that rolls home for George, and Syracuse scores on the first 2 trips.
If you're Syracuse, it's about starting to dictate the game early and then finding things that you can build on in terms of confidence. And a few made shots go a long way when they come early in the game.
Tar Heels just 3-5 on the road this season, undefeated at home. They have really struggled, particularly on defense on the road. Bogovac backs in the first 2, the junior from Montenegro.
The biggest key I see already just with Vesar being on the floor is space. There was no space to make plays against NC State, and it led to more resets. More resets means the defense can thrive even more. Space is going to be paramount in this one.
There's Freeman. He's got a size advantage on Dixon. Dribbles out of it. Freeman again, 17 a game to lead the Orange in his second year. Vesar comes for the double. George whips it to Kings. Inside the paint, Kings' shot is denied by Vesar at a shot clock violation. And already you may see in some desperation in the early minutes.
Is that how you're selling this one?
Absolutely. Wounded pride. Starling scores it for 2. I mean, Syracuse coming off the largest loss they've had in 20 years.
It garners your attention when he's got the ball in his hands. He can shoot it from 3 and he can move it.
Kings, a little seal from Kyle, and Nate Kings makes it 8-2 Syracuse.
I mean, I haven't been a doctor for a couple days, but I would say he looks pretty good to start.
Does it just come and go, your doctorate? Starling floats it home.
I think all my expertise comes and goes pretty quickly.
Life is fluid. 10-4, Starling has hit 2 of 3, the Orange. A hot shooting start, and there's Kyle. 4th best shot blocker in the nation with his first swat. Trimble can't follow it up. Starling tips it out to Dixon, who buries it 3. First Syracuse substitutes are Tyler Betsy and the freshman Sadiq White. Jonathan Powell on the floor for Carolina. Bogovac finishes through contact and a 3-point opportunity.
Very aggressive. You deny the ball screen and just attack. No one's there to stop.
Big minutes for High the last couple of games, who was really in and out of the rotation until the injuries. Woo. Nice move by J.J. Starling, who's got 6.
Syracuse, you've got to be able to capitalize. The more you wait, the easier it is to make the entire game uncomfortable. But how it's called will probably matter more than anything else.
2 top 4 matchups today. 3rd time that's happened in the regular season in the same day in the history of men's Division I college basketball. Duke, Michigan is the other, 6:30 on ESPN. We can't wait for all that. Here at the Dome, Jonathan Powell, who was very good against Syracuse earlier in the month, has tied it with a 3.
I also think the early shot opportunities are there because there's more rhythm with a tempo push. There's less rhythm when the ball gets stagnant in the half court.
There's a freshman, Sadiq White. Very highly touted freshman from Charlotte. Minutes have been going down of late. Well, Adrian Autry spoke very highly about his energy and leadership with us before the game. Maybe a little more Sadiq White today puts the Orange back in front. Vesar into Kyle, raises over one of the nation's best shot blockers and scores.
It's really a clear right side where no help was present. So in an ISO one-on-one situation, I take Vesar 9 times out of 10.
14-14, here's Starling leading the way with an early 6. Left it short, and the rebound bobbles out to Dixon. Carolina trying to run early. Powell buries it. You really have to fill this building to make it sound like it's full. And Syracuse has dropped to 6th in the nation in attendance this year. This is their biggest crowd of the season.
I was hoping you'd bring that up because I think that was shocking to both of us.
Vesar makes it 19-16. Anthony short in transition. Kyle fumbles with the offensive rebound, does collect it. Kyle into Vesar, and William Kyle will bank it home. What a move.
not going to help off to cover William Kyle. You'll do that with Donnie Freeman. But if Kyle can give you a few baskets in the post, that's getting more than you can typically ask for.
Freeman has been off the floor for a long time for Syracuse. Vessar buries a three. Henry Vessar in his first game back since last Tuesday has an early 9.
I think that's the key, and he's got the size advantage, but he doesn't settle with just having the size advantages. He gets the position advantage as well.
Evans lets it fly from 3. Boy, they need something out of Kyan Evans, who's been scoreless 5 of the last 7, and that is a great sign for Hubert Davis.
I think sometimes we get lost like, well, yeah, he should do it. No, he shouldn't. He did it. God bless him for doing so.
Bogovats in the lane. Here's Jaden Young, Virginia Tech transfer. Dixon off a shot fake. A step back 2 is good for Derek Dixon, the freshman from Vienna, Virginia. Freeman trying to muscle his way into the paint. He's gotten in the way of a couple of dribblers here as Kings misses another one badly. Stevenson defended by Freeman. Gets the clean rejection this time. Syracuse has just 2 assists on 11 made baskets as Betsy buries the first Orange 3. Final possession for the Orange. George drives it. George drops it off for White, denied by Vessar. And then George heaves up a prayer that misses. George on the floor with Starling, Kings, Kyle, and Freeman. The Syracuse starting 5. J.J. Starling rolls it home. He's the first Syracuse player in double figures.
If Kings and Starling can get going, they can create and make tough shots. And that should make the game easier for everybody else.
Vessar with an early touch and a good find. The first field goal for Stevenson, all set up by Henry Vessar.
And Donnie Freeman just got lost defensively. You can't just allow yourself to be face cut for an easy layup.
Nate Kings, who's been playing really well, just 4 points in that first half. Syracuse only hit 1 3. They had been doing a lot of their work in the paint with that guy. Starling now with a dozen. And get a charge. One of the best things the NCAA's done the last couple of years.
More plays at the rim. I mean, it's been better basketball. It's created more fluidity on the floor.
Starling attacks and scores. He's got the first 6 in the half.
So it's got to lead to an aggressive initial surge.
Bogovats for Vessar. Wow! Knocked up by Starling, almost through the hoop. In the net, 23 in the wins above bubble metric. They have a really tough closing stretch. They picked up some good wins already. This would be a good win on their resume, though Syracuse is down. As Vessar gets a good touch and floats it home to get to double figures.
But both teams starting to settle in, realizing that early offense is often the best offense. Henry Vessar, the recipient of that.
They're not necessarily scoring, but they get Kings out of the game because of, as you deemed it, the lack of nonsense fake offense. As Bogovats scores to put UNC back in front. We got nothing moving in this possession toward the rim until now, and Trimble finally gets on the board.
Well, he got a matchup he likes. He just got under Donnie Freeman and got all the way to the basket.
Early offense from Starling, who's got 16.
Offensively, Carolina's been running a zone offense against man. A lot of standing around.
Here's Vessar back on the floor, trying to back down Kyle. Vessar scores it. Syracuse defended well enough. They haven't needed threes. They're 1 for 10, and yet they're tied.
Now you make me feel badly about criticizing that miss.
Well, I'm sure you knew that. You do your homework. Trimble inside. That's tapped in by Zayden High, and Carolina's back in front.
That was bad enough for me to say either way.
By the way, Carolina, you mentioned the assist for Syracuse. Carolina,
not much better.
5 assists on 17 makes before that last basket. So we'll say it's been a lot of individual brilliance. How about that?
Sometimes it's get yours basketball.
Uh-oh. Starling just got his pocket pick by Trimble. Ah! And Zayden High enjoyed it.
You go back outside, you kick it out, and he pump fakes and goes to the basket. Now this is just too easy for Melo Trimble, but this just gets so stagnant when they can't attack in transition. And good on Syracuse for taking transition opportunities away.
Trimble in the paint, 6 straight for the Heels, and Trimble has finally put his stamp on the game. Can he find it in the final 9 minutes with the Orange down 6? Vessar, Powell, fake to 3. Powell drives into Kyle. Ball ends up in the hands of High, and he is fouled. Syracuse still just one made 3 in the game in 11 tries, and George makes it 1 for 12. Gets it back from Kyle. Freeman drives it on Stevenson. Freeman finally gets it to go.
And it's not about Yaxel as much as about can Cameron Boozer play that versatile game, because Lendemore's been all over the court.
Zayden High with a corner 3, just his second 3 of the year. Here's Donnie. Bodying up Stevenson. Here's Donnie.
It's good stuff, but it goes back to the last point I made. He required half the floor to be able to get that shot. Good on everybody else for spacing, but to expect that much room to work and to win games, that's going to be challenging.
Syracuse looking for its first ranked conference win in 2 years. Down 8 in the closing stretch. Bogovac gets a step on Kings and blows by him to stretch the lead back to 10. Luka Bogovac into double figures.
Well, Kings was leaning on that ball screen, denied, and then Kings couldn't foul.
Starling couldn't change direction and put it home. He's been stuck on 18 for a while, as Carolina slows it down with a 10-point lead and under 4 to play. Tar Heels trying to get to 2-1 without Caleb Wilson, and Henry Vessar's return. Vessar scores it over Kyle, who wants to travel.
A lot of things we have to figure out.
Vessar's wide open under the basket, and Vessar, in his return to the lineup, has scored a game-high 19.
Well, it's tough. Syracuse gets put in a position where they have to extend, but it's a smaller lineup that you can pass right over the top of. Too easy to break that and score for Carolina.
Don't forget Arizona and Houston coming up, the first of 2 top 4 matchups on our networks today. We'll send you there when we're done to John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla. Betsy, Syracuse's first 3 in 19 minutes of game time since Tyler Betsy. And then Carolina answers with a fast break layup from Trimble.
Just way too easy. Again, the pass over the top of this defense.
George, stopped by Vessar. Kyle off the offensive rebound, sets up Starling, who can't connect from deep. Starling, in a long time since his last bucket. Stevenson helped get a piece of that one. Jared Stevenson making an impact in a game where he's only scored 3. He will be aggressive here. He's now up to 5, and UNC is running away with it late.
He don't want nothing to do with this either.
I mean,
you say it's in a weird place for Syracuse. It's in a weird place for college basketball.
Yes.
And I think the next 2 or 3 years, when we start to figure out.
And yet, unless they have a miraculous surge down the stretch, it's going to be their longest NCAA tournament drought. 5 years since 67 to 72. 77-62, Starling. That's a high degree difficulty shots today. That's a new season high 22 for J.J. Starling.
Tough shot taking, tough shot making for all the individuals for Syracuse.
North Carolina on the verge of closing it out. And hey, we can't wait to go back and turn on ABC and watch Arizona, Houston, and then Duke, Michigan tonight. How awesome that we're getting that neutral site non-conference game on February 21st. 2 legitimate Final Four national championship caliber games on a historic Saturday of college basketball. Arizona, Houston are coming up on ABC. But in the entree, it's North Carolina coming into the Dome with a 77-64 win. A welcome return for Henry Vessar, and Hubert Davis's Tar Heels improved to 21-6, 9-5 in the league.